And we're live. Hello, Jamaicans.com. How are you? Happy Friday once again. Thank you for joining me. And for those of you who have joined last week, I've got your comments and your compliments, and I absolutely appreciate you tuning in to our show. Last week was a lot of fun. And my husband and I, we were still talking about just the energy that we got from you guys and all the feedback. We love you guys, and we look forward to doing more shows with him as special guest. I know it seemed like we needed more time last week though, but I wasn't sure if anyone was coming on after our segment. So I did not want to I did not want to keep going and go into someone else's time slot. So we'll bring him back on, and we will definitely take questions from you guys and address those questions. But this week, I wanted to be mindful of everything that's going on around us and just address certain things that's affecting us in our own communities. And we have a special guest. I did not make an announcement about her because honestly, I saw a post that she did online and I just wanted to bring her on. And I called her last minute, like the last 15 minutes, to see if she could join us just to talk about those things. And I'll introduce her in a few. You will not see her face because she is in a certain position where she's not able to have you guys see, but she'll be on screen and she'll be able to probably answer questions from you guys as well. But what I want to do is talk about last week a little bit more. My husband and I, we promised you guys, one viewer, a book on marriage and relationships, happily joined. And we're still going to give it to you. We're still figuring out who had the most comments on there or most engagement. And I'm going to make that announcement. Okay, I want you to go over on Maxine Reyes page after this. We're going to calculate those because I totally forgot that we did not give you guys the book as mentioned. So what I want to do, I want to talk about authenticity. We're going to talk about that and embracing ourselves as we are. As you can tell, I have no makeup on. Skin is bare naked, just like it did when I washed my face. And usually I'm wearing my popping lipstick, which I will put on for you guys. But I wanted you to see me naked, raw, just like this. And see that I too don't mind having a little accessory, whether it's makeup or earrings or whatever, right? Because some people feel like they need to put on all this makeup just to be accepted by others, which we shouldn't. We shouldn't feel obligated to live our lives like that. That's just too stressful, too much pressure. And I wanted you to see me barefaced like this. Now, this does make my lips pop a little bit more. And I love for you guys to see the fullness of it. So that's why I love wearing lipstick. This is my go-to makeup or go-to accessory when I leave the house, because I believe your smile is what really attracts people to you. And it brings a conversation and make people feel good when you smile at them. So I always want to wear lipstick to pop when I smile for others, because I love making people feel good. So I'm going to put it on right now and then we'll go into the conversation, okay? Because really, this is all I put on most of the time. I don't mind wearing everything else. If you look in my makeup cabinet, I don't even have a makeup cabinet. I have a little carry on bag, and it's this small with the little foundation just to even my skin tone. And eyeliner is a must. I'm not putting on any today. And then eyebrows and my lipstick. So authenticity is important, and I just love that you guys can see me like that, and I still feel good about myself. I don't feel like I'm less beautiful because God created me beautifully, and I wanted you to see me just like that. So now you see the lipstick is popping a liquor, right? Definitely popping, and that's what I love. So I'm going to say some hello to a few folks who are popping in. Pansy from Chicago. Pansy joined last week. I remember that name. Judith, good afternoon, my dear. Thank you very much for joining us again. And keep telling me where you're joining us from, because I love that, and I love to give you guys some props. Let's see, Murder, Awesome, Perfect, My Tano. I'm not sure what this is about, but I won't stay on that for too long. Tawny, thank you for joining. Carrie Ann Nelson Herbert, thank you for joining. And thanks to everyone else who's joining, but you're not engaging, so I'm not sure where you're joining us from. But I know that Tawny is joining us from the UK, and she's Jamaican as well. So hey, everybody, hey. All right, I'm not gonna have our guest on here for too much longer because she has other things planned for the evening, and I don't want to impose on too much of her time. We'll talk a little bit about classism and racism, how it's unacceptable, but shouldn't we clean up in our ranks as well? When I say our ranks, our communities, our islands, our small islands, because believe it or not, our islands, I've had experiences on the island, and my guest she's had experiences as well where she was discriminated against, and she will tell you more about that. But joining us live from Kingston, Jamaica is Miss Erica Virtue. I grew up looking up to this woman and her entire family. Okay, her entire family, I've always seen them as the right people. Them very studious and for the community, very helpful to helping others to learn about certain subjects, certain topics. Very highly respected family, and I'm pretty sure those of you who are in Jamaica or have watched Jamaican television, you've seen that name, the last name Virtue, before. And without further ado, I'm going to have her introduce herself and just tell you a little bit about her as a professional, and then we're going to talk about classism. Erica, on to you, my dear. Thank you so much for joining us. Marley Hill, Manchester, Marlie, big up.
representing every time.
Absolutely. Please introduce yourself and just tell them a little bit about what you do and how we get into this topic.
Okay, so I'm Erica Virtue. I am a product of rural Jamaica, and I am a trained teacher, and I'm also a practicing journalist. Have been doing journalism for the last 30 years, and I've been around. Political journalism is what I have focused on largely for my years in journalism. I have covered more elections than I want to remember. And I will say this, that teaching has introduced me to the best of Jamaica, and journalism has introduced me to the worst of Jamaica.
All right. Wow. And so why, if you can expand on that a little bit, like why do you say that?
Okay, so teaching, when you teach, you get your children, you get your subjects when they are young, when they are earnest, they want to learn. And so it is incumbent on the adults who are charged with the responsibility of not only teaching them about academics, but teaching them about life, to discharge that responsibility with the utmost care. And for the greater part of my career, I think that my children tell me that I'm a good teacher. I don't think that I'm necessarily a good teacher. I think I had the best students. And so recognizing my responsibility to discharge that responsibility to them, that is what made them the best part of my adult experience. They are, I don't think there is any one child in the hundreds of children that I've taught who was or has been any failure. I didn't see people's children as failures. I'm one of 11 children in a family. Suppose somebody had seen me as a failure. I mean, I'm not here to pass judgment or to pass bad deeds, bad sins on anyone. My responsibility is to bring out the best in all of the people whose lives I've been privileged enough to make an appearance in. At the same time, journalism exposed me to the evils of society and what adults have done to other adults and children, what laws, what practices and mores have done to just simply hold back a population of people and to deny them basic human rights. What's
Right.
happening in the United States now with the death of George Floyd?
Mhm.
The only thing that is different in Jamaica is that we are not taken to the streets. I mean, I think we could very well be on the streets for similar issues, but I think that our backs have been pushed against the walls so much that we feel that, standing against the wall is the only place that we can be. And I'm afraid I'm not standing against the wall with anyone, because when you push me against the wall, the only place I can go is forward. And when I start
Right.
going forward, I am going to mow you down.
That's the Erica I know.
Yes, yes,
Take
yes,
nothing from anyone.
yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
Uh,
I'm taking no prisoners here.
yeah. And we appreciate you being a voice for our community. I've always respected you, as you know, and always looked up to you. So, some of the experiences that you've had when it comes to classism, can you share that?
All right. I'll share. I remember going into a store some years ago. At the stores, it's a block of stores, or it's a plaza owned by some of the more well-heeled in Jamaica. And myself and a girlfriend of mine from university. So we started picking up a few little things, and by the time we got to the cashiers, we noticed that some people of much lighter hue were had come by, and the cashiers, whose hue was just the same like myself and my friend, were more impressed by the people of lighter hue. So although we were in the line long before them,
Mhm.
their goods were being cashed before us. They were being encouraged to come to the cashier before us. So
Wow.
I looked at my girlfriend and she looked at me, and we both knew that we were going to blow up. It was just a matter of when.
Right.
So what we started to do was to speak to each other in the Jamaican vernacular. We weren't cursing bad words, but we were
Mhm.
talking patois. We were asking questions like, so for we money no good,
Right.
or and we nail down here, so, or is it that we too black and nobody don't see, we for call, we for tell, we say come up to the cashier and cash your goods.
Right.
So the mumbling got louder and louder, us talking to ourselves. But we knew what we were doing because we wanted them to hear. We wanted the cashiers to know that we were there before them and they called them before us. And we also wanted them to know that the same type of credit cards that they were paying their bills with, we had them too. So by the time we started making a stink and started speaking louder and louder in the
Mhm.
stores, that's when one of the managers decided to come out. And immediately we decided to change our strategy. Our strategy was not to speak in patois at this time, but to speak the Queen's version of English,
Right.
because we automatically, it is assumed that people of my hue, we can only do two things when it comes to expression: curse bad word or
Mhm.
talk patois.
Right.
So when we started speaking in perfect English, then somebody realized that, okay, we don't know exactly who they are, but they don't seem to be quite fitting the description of the lot of them.
Okay.
So they apologize to us.
Mhm.
And just before it got to the point where he decided to say it was an oversight, I said, do not go there. Just look at the two of us and our complexion. We cannot be oversights anywhere.
Right.
And we got up to the cashier and we told them, thank them very much, but we didn't want their goods. We also showed them the credit cards that we were going to use to pay for the goods. And
Okay.
this is just an example of one of the many, many examples. There are certain places in Jamaica when you go to stores, especially stores in there,
Mhm.
um, they have attendants following you around and asking you every 30 seconds if you're getting through. And you know, there comes a time when you have to turn around and ask, are you stupid, or somebody told you to ask us that and you can't think for yourself? Does it look like I'm getting through? You haven't given me a chance to search for what I want. You don't know what I want. Allow me to search for what I want. And that is all too common in
Mhm.
certain places in Jamaica. And I have to tell you that in certain shops, not so much shops that are owned by Chinese, but
Mhm.
shops that are owned by people from the Middle East, there is another set of people operating in this country who believe that people of my complexion, that if you come in there for whatever reason, is that they must have you under surveillance. So they have you under both electronic surveillance and they have their attendants in the store, literally following you about the place. And I find that in some jewelry shops, for example, it's like if you go to a particular section of the jewelry shop that, let's say, it's about where they have the diamonds or the whatever. Oh, no, these are real diamonds over here. So it is automatically assumed that you can't buy diamonds. So you must go over to where the gold plated or the gold filling or whatever section um, of the store. I'm saying all this to say that where racism and classism is far more institutionalized in the United States and
Mhm.
places like the United Kingdom. In Jamaica, it is every day. It is it's an everyday occurrence,
Mhm.
but there is a fear, just like how I think the establishment in the United States fear black people. There is a fear in Jamaica that if you piss off somebody too much, especially if you don't know who they are, that
Mhm.
somebody might just come back with a gun and meet you and say, you're this my sister or you're this my mother. And to this can be fatal. So
Yeah.
people are a little bit more mindful, but it does
Mhm.
not stop them from operating in a racist manner. In a
Wow.
racist manner. Yeah.
And I mean, it's great that you brought that to light. I mean, people have been experiencing it because I've heard stories, but you know, a lot of people are not courageous enough to come out and say it, right? But
Yeah.
that's why it keeps going on because
It's my experience. It's my experience. You can't take that from me.
right, right.
Yeah.
But people are not brave enough as a because they're either fearful or they don't want to continue to be discriminated against if they see that person again or that store owner. So what advice would you give? I mean, if we want to make change here in the United States or even back home in Jamaica, what advice would you give to people like these that treat us or treat darker hues in that way?
Okay, I think in Jamaica we need to stop using fear as an excuse for right. If we continue to use fear as an excuse, what we are building is the foundation for jungle law. And where
Mhm.
you have jungle law, it's the rule of might, and the rule of right has no say. And the rule of might can be built on two things: violence or money. Those are the only two things that determine might.
Mhm.
The rule of right is far more equitable and far more fundamental. And I feel that the people who should be concerned more with the rule of right in Jamaica, they're few and far between. Um, we need to take our rights. We need to acknowledge our rights. But we first need to know our rights. One of the things that I think politics has done to this country is to so enslave the mentality of people that we, we are we are gathered together like goats in a pen, and we have herd rights instead of individual rights. So you find that you give up your right to a herd, and then you realize that, oh my God, I just gave my rights away to the group. And
Mhm.
when it is necessary for you to recall your individual right, your fundamental right, your God-given right, you can't recall it because you gave it away. Somebody either paid you cash for it, or somebody either just squeeze you to the point where you just gave it up voluntarily. When we allow that to happen to us, that is a dangerous
Mhm.
state of man's existence. In the United
Right.
States, it
Mhm.
it is it, I was just thinking how systematic it has been to take away the rights of black people there. One of the things that they do is black men get charged
Mhm.
for this the simplest thing. You get a criminal record. A criminal record prevents you from joining certain armed forces in the United States. You can't join them because you have a criminal record. That is how the system gets you out and gets person of their own choosing to be part of the system and to continue that system of discrimination. So
Mhm.
when people tell you that racism is not institutionalized in the United States, a black kid will get thrown into juvie prison or the juvie system, and he leaves high school with a criminal record.
Mhm.
He cannot become a police officer, he cannot become um
Join the military
part
or
yes, a part of society that would see him as an upstanding person or a model for other youngsters in the community to follow. it
right.
is going to take it is going to take much more than what is currently happening in the United States now to get to break the neck of that system, because that is how white America have nailed themselves into position of power, which gives
Mhm.
them the right to continue to sit on the necks of Black America and minority America. And I'm saying that the United States is in a very, very dangerous situation right now. Because when I look out there, I see white people out there marching. I see younger white people marching. I see
Mhm.
Latinos, younger Latinos marching. Because you know what? These guys grow up, they live amongst Black people, and they see how they are treated.
Mhm.
Now, the worst thing that could happen to establishment America is when there is solidarity from establishment America with the underprivileged America. That's what America needs to fear. I don't think these kids are afraid of death. They are
No,
not. They are
I was
not.
today. I was downtown Tampa today, and I saw a protest that calm, no violent, or anything like that, and it was the young Asian Latinos, uh, folks who were there marching for us, you know. And it's just amazing that all the comments I've been getting. I have people messaging me on Instagram, sending me in my inbox, apologizing for their race and asking my opinion as far as how can they support the Black community. And I've sent that to them, and you know what? They donate and send me receipts. I was like, wow, these people are serious about not seeing racism happening anymore in America. And it's just, it's awful. I'm not even going to say unfortunate. It's awful what's happening. And then you saying sitting on the necks of Black people just gave me goosebumps because of literally homeboy was kneeling on a man's neck for how over eight minutes. So
Yeah.
you know, he feels like it's okay, and it's not okay. It's unacceptable, and people are rising up from all walks of life right now. I'm gonna take some questions. I saw some comments here, and folks are engaging. So Tawny Powell says she hates when she goes to the shop and orders something, and before they even give it to you, they're like, it's $1,000 with the impression that you can't afford it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And the same thing happens in Jamaica.
yeah.
You pick up something, and the first thing they tell you the price.
Mhm.
And you
Yeah.
go and you go, so
Yeah, here
yeah,
it is. No
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
That's happened before, and I think someone was with me the last time it happened, and she was like, "What was that all about?" I said they probably thought we couldn't afford it. But when we
Yep.
pull out the black card that has $100,000 max on there,
Exactly.
then hey, you know better than me. Okay, I have excellent credit, educated, well spoken. You're not better than me.
Yeah.
So, and they're the ones that are working for us. They're there to service
Yes.
us.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we have Pam McDonald says she gets it there in the UK as well. She said, I get it here in the UK every day. I get it when I come to Jamaica. I thought it was normal until my friends told me it's not. So when I found out, I stopped spending with them and then refused to spend my hard working money with people who refuse to give me respect.
Exactly.
Yes, and put a list of stores that you can purchase from that have people who will respect you and who will appreciate your support from them and appreciate you as the hardworking citizen that you are.
Yes.
Let me see who else.
Yes.
Susan said it's a zoo with a correctional system. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's a holding area for Black people, for monkeys. That's why they reference Black people as monkey. We have your cage, you know.
Speaking of cage, with the Latinos and the Cajun, you know, at the border, that's another story. But Juanita says you're speaking the truth. Suzette says, are prisons full of young, let me see, I missed that. Our prison is full of young Black men. Okay, she meant to say our, O-U-R, okay. Yeah, I haven't been, but I've seen pictures and the videos. There are plenty of positions of power for Black in America. That's a lie. Their position, well, I guess I'm going to jump in. Their positions, yes, that we are qualified for, and we may not be getting it in certain areas, but I think more people, especially women, are landing these positions, and because we're fighting and we're speaking up. So their positions there, and we're filling them. It's taken this long, but we're getting there. And I'm saying this because of certain positions that I've filled in the military. You know, that military itself came a long way when it comes to women and Blacks as well. But I was one of actually the second woman that commanded the Army's recruiting and retention school. Second.
Yep. Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
so
And that was just a few years ago.
Yes, it was just a few years ago. Absolutely. That was my first command. nearly 700 people that I was responsible for, students and permanent party. And it was a big deal for me. I was scared to death. But
Yeah.
that position, I earned it, and they placed me in that position because they believed that I could handle the job. And I did. Grateful for that. So I know what you said, Jenny, but there are positions that we are really moving right into because we are qualified for them and we are speaking up and fighting for ourselves. And I'm happy to see the diversity that's out there fighting for us and being the voice for us as well. Let me see if I can get some more questions. Jenny says, I'm a woman and I have plenty of women grab their purse harder when I walk by. Happens everywhere. Okay. I get it. I get it. Okay, so if you guys, I'm gonna take two more questions. I'll take two questions and then we'll go on. Let her go because she accepted my invitation last minute, 15 minutes before the show, and I'm super grateful to have her in my corner and in our corner and being the voice for us and sharing her story and sharing her experiences as well. Juanita Goodson says, she visited Jamaica 10 years ago and went to the market at Halfway Tree and was very disappointed that because of her light skin, she was charged more. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It happens. It happens. I'm not sure. I think it must have been the vendors along Halfway Tree, because there's not a market in Halfway Tree, but downtown Kingston, without opening your mouth, if you go to the market and you ask, um, how much per pound for the melons, or what's the price of these? You get you get a cost that is reserved for people who they think because of how you speak are more able to pay for that. Or if you go and if you go in there and you say, how much a pound for the $50 platinum or something like that, you actually put a price on it, and they realize that you can go between both, then you are more likely to get closer to the realistic price. People charge you in the market according to how you are dressed in there. If you dress and go to the market, there's a dress up price. So it is, no, like seriously. um so these things happen. Sometimes when I hear everybody talk about Jamaica no problem, Jamaica no problem when we want to, because there is always a problem in Jamaica.
Yeah. I've seen that too. When somebody say, "You think that Jamaican have no problem?" Them say Jamaica enough problem. But
Exactly.
it's like for me, it's my homeland, and so there are so many things, pluses that I always look back on that makes me feel like it's always my place of peace when I come home. And it's different from, I understand what you're talking about, and I agree that there are problems because we know some of the root problems and they keep going on, right? But for me, I guess because I've been in fighting mode for the past 20 something years, minus the last 2 years that I've been out of the military, that I always feel like I'm released from the cage when I go home. You know what I mean? When I come down, I go to the countryside where I know pretty much everything goes. I can walk barefoot if I want, and nobody now look at, well, they probably look at me weird. Say, Maxine got friend, I come back and walk barefoot. But it's just certain things that we still love about Jamaica, and especially the countryside where we grew up, that I appreciate until this day.
And I do too, because when I go home, it's almost like leaving Kingston and going back to South Manchester is like coming from the United States and going to Jamaica. So it's a different thing for me. I walk barefoot and I go down the road to my brother's house that's down the road. I go and look for the old people who I know, when I was growing up, who are still alive. You just come out, our house is so close to the roadside that you're on the veranda and you're speaking to somebody on the road and everybody pass and call you. And it's okay.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Exactly. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. And what I love when I come home is them always bring me my little bag of mango because I know that's my.
Oh, gee, it's mango time now, my darling.
Don't remind me.
Yes.
I'm like, "Wait, but I look on the online for tickets because I've been watching as far as the island's going to open up, and yeah,
Yes.
the 15th is around the corner, so we'll
Yes.
see. I'm gonna work on some stuff. I'm supposed to go record some music, but we'll talk about
Okay.
it later on. But let's see. I don't want you to go without addressing a couple of these people. So I see Pam says, exactly, told the shop owner off, but the goods back, put the goods back, walked out. Just hate being followed around in a shop. I'm no criminal, not my money. Hell no, she says. We feel it. Erica did the same thing. She didn't purchase from that one
Nope.
organization
Nope.
that against her. Juanita said they need to stop with the mentality that light-skinned Jamaicans are rich. Okay, got you. What do you feel
Yes.
about it? We have a question. She says, Jenny Lon says, what do you feel people can do to make the world a better place?
You know, call out wrong. It doesn't matter if the wrong is being committed by somebody of your complexion or somebody of another person's complexion or ethnic group, because part of the problem within our group is that we sit down on too many truths. We need to stop it. We need to do the right thing. And how we know what is the right thing, if it makes us feel uncomfortable, it is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes us
Yeah.
feel good, it is right.
Yeah. Suzette says we need to stop turning a blind eye and pay attention to it. All everyday struggles are different, but coming from the same source.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, the way to make it better is to have people take accountability. I mean,
Yes.
if something is going on wrong and we see it, we should say something and do something
Yes.
about it. The reason why those dirty cops, because I know all cops are not like this guy, because I know several of them. And
Yes.
the for the bad ones, the bad seeds, if you don't call them out, if you don't punish them right away, they're gonna keep thinking that behavior is okay, and they're gonna continue to behave in that manner. You have to
Which
nip
is
it in the bud.
which is why
You have
sorry, which is why
to.
I cannot see how all of those cops weren't charged for the same crime. All
Because
of
somebody
them.
wasn't.
All of yeah. I mean, somebody, why didn't I see another cop tackle that cop on the man's neck and say, it is wrong, you can't do that, it is wrong, you make me sick, stop it.
Mhm.
Why couldn't one of his own fellow cops arrest him for doing that? That was assault.
Yeah,
No.
and it's the tone that they set amongst each other. So it's either
Yes.
somebody was fearful of that one cop, Chauvin,
Yes.
because they know how he is. They've seen him in action before, because apparently he has other incidents.
Multiple cases of abuse. Yes. Yes.
Right. I mean, the citizens were speaking up and saying, don't you see that what he's doing, he's about to die or he's dying or whatever. And that one guy that was standing, the cop that was standing facing us in the camera, he did
Yes.
nothing. His hand was on his head the
Nothing.
whole time. The other guy whose knee was on George, he had his hand in his pocket. Like, this is nothing, no big deal. I have six
Yeah.
brothers. And I'm
Yeah.
sick to like when I watched that video. I haven't watched it since I watched the entire video and saw. Whew, okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to not to get too emotionally involved in it. But when I saw that,
Yeah.
I cried, and I just think of my youngest brother, 19 years old. He just joined the military. He's in Texas somewhere. What if it was him driving
Yeah.
or stopping at the store? And there's more to it than just seeing the guy and pulling him over or whatever they did.
Yes.
There is
Yeah.
something, and we're gonna find it out because he worked at the same club.
The same.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
one was a bouncer and the other was an off-duty. And
Cop. Yeah.
apparently there was something going on before all of this.
Yes.
He
Yes.
had
And they lie. They lie for each other, because I'm watching the video of the 75-year-old man who was shoved by the cops in Sarasota. And no, I think it's New York. Sorry, Sarasota is Florida, somewhere in New York.
Maybe not that
And they're saying that the man tripped and fell. Hell no, he didn't. They pushed him, and he busted his head.
Yeah.
And that's the report. So they take up for each other in the wrong. And if you can't get them to start calling out wrong amongst the persons who should be upholding right, they're going to get more people coming after them, because people are tired of it. They're tired of it.
And we're tired of seeing it, and
Yeah.
that's why many of us are just making sure that we voice our opinions and our concerns and signing those petitions that we're putting out. I had a case this week where a journalist reached out to me because she knows of my voice and that I'm not scared to speak up for people or for silence. And she sent me a message, a Caucasian lady. She said, "Hey, Max, can you help me with this? Because there is a student, honor student. She's about to graduate this Friday, and she's wearing braids. And her principal spoke with her mom saying she has to take the braids out, or else she's not going to graduate. This little girl has several scholarships that she earned, and if she doesn't graduate, she cannot go to college with scholarships." And the principal called the mom and told the mom she cannot graduate with grades in, right? And so they needed us to call these stations and publications, and I did my part, called some folks who I knew. Next thing you know, the past 3 days, NBC News, Essence.com has the story, right? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Yeah, so we just came on as a team, 6 to 8 of us, and just started sending messages out, because we have to speak up for the people who can't speak up for themselves.
Exactly.
Right? That's
exactly.
What we have to do whatever work we can do that's within our control, because some things we just can't control. There are other people, power in positions that can help us. We cannot be afraid to ask, because there are people out there who will help us.
Yes.
Let's see what time it is. Okay, so we have 10 minutes. I guess we can roll it out. I have someone said thank you for being here, and she appreciates you're sharing your story and sharing your knowledge. Johnny, let's see, great conversation. God bless you. 2 of the cops were on the force 3 or 4 days. The kicker was the train. Okay, yeah, we know that. Okay, Chantal, my friend from Texas, she says the police force is like the military. It's based on rank structure, and he was the highest ranking cop out there. Therefore, they partly allowed it to happen. Yeah, partly allowed it, but I wouldn't even compare them to the police force, Chantal, honestly, because we're not trained to do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? We show up in certain situations, but we're not scared of people so much that we're going to just kill them right away. There are rules that if we do something like that, we're going to end up in a prison, and we're going to have our paychecks taken away from us, our retirement taken away from us. So partially, as far as rank structure, okay, got that. But as far as the behavior, they're not scared. You didn't see fear in these people's eyes, in these officers' eyes. A soldier,
no fear at all. It was commonplace.
Yeah, we know the consequences, so we're not going to do certain things, because your retirement's going to be gone. Your family life is going to be taken away, pretty much, because if you don't have your money anymore, you mess with people's money, guess what? They're going to follow the rules. And these people, they were just taking whatever it is from them, and they weren't holding them accountable, period. All right, let's see. I am the lightning cuff. Cut me off. Oh, somebody's back. They said the lightning cut them off. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you miss? So if you're just joining us, we only have a few more minutes left, but if you're just joining us, I'm on the phone with Erica Virtue, a very prominent journalist in Jamaica, and family of mine, and one of my, I'm not going to say idols, but I guess I just say idols. I look up to when I was.
I'm honored.
For real. Your entire family, the Virtue family, you're highly respected, well observed from people like me in our district. you guys represent what a lot of us wanted from the district, and we're so proud of you and all the virtues in your family. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
I
Thank
I
you.
see all
We
the
appreciate
time,
it.
but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I'm just so happy that you were able to join us today and share your wealth of knowledge, share your experience, and just give us advice as far as how we can get better at not discriminating against our own. And when it comes to classism, people just need to not assume that we can afford things. Stop following us around in the stores when you see us. We're there to shop. Yeah, you have the one and two seeds, just like the
Yes.
looters. It's not majority.
Yes.
It's not
Indeed.
majority. They're saying people are not out there, but you cannot just look at us because we are dark skinned and think that we're gonna be stealing from you in your stores. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
start looking at change there. Teach your employees. Training is so important. Train your employees not to see us and target us as a threat, because we have money too that we're gonna spend in your stores. Okay.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
All
Mm.
right. So let me see if I think that was it. I don't see any more questions here.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
everyone who joined us, thank you, Erica. Eat up some of them mangoes for me. Put some in the freezer so we
Yes.
make.
Yes. Mango juice. Mango juice.
Mango. And I had folks on Instagram as well joining us. I don't see any questions from there, but I have Shivani from Love FM and Love 101 Dependent Work. Hi Tia. I have so many people on here. I appreciate you guys joining. Jamaicans.com. One love. Thank you for this platform to just have open discussions of activities that affects all of us. And I am going to look in the comments, and someone's gonna get the book last week. So I know you guys joined us, and I promised you guys a book and totally forgot. We were having too much fun, but you're gonna get your book. I'm gonna go back on there and see who was most engaged with our post, and I'll take it from there. You guys are gonna DM me your address so I can ship off the Happily Joint book. I love talking about love and relationship, but I love talking about activities and subjects and topics that affect us on a daily basis and things we need to teach our children, because it really starts there. And some of these kids, where I saw some videos, they were fighting, not fighting, but having an open discussion with their parents, because their parents still thinks of us being, they at us being under them or beneath them. That's what I'm trying to say. Being beneath them. So there was a teenager really telling her parents that you guys are evil, and this is not something that you should be still stuck in during this time. So people are speaking up and they're coming around, and the younger generation, they see good people around. They don't see color, or they do see color. Let me take that back. We all should see color because we're not blind, but we should embrace each other. That's my advice. Embrace each other. Oh, thank you, Zizi. Zizi said, "Oh, you're so sweet." Erica, you hear what she said? Actually, you can't see it, right? Can you see the comments?
No, no, I'm oh well.
Says Zizi,
I just
great host. You're a great host presenter. You deserve a talk show. That was so sweet. I wanted to be a broadcaster from when I was a kid. That's something I wanted to do. But when I joined the military, I wasn't a citizen at the time, and so they did not give public relations or public affairs broadcasting jobs to non-citizens. And so I took what they had, what I was qualified for, which was not broadcast. And now I'm out of the military and I have all control over what I can do or what I want to do. And thank God for platforms like Jamaicans.com, Facebook, Instagram. I'm able to do this stuff for fun right now, right? So thank you very much. That was a great compliment and I appreciate it. And I'm not a pro when it comes to this. I just love doing it and do it naturally. And I'm not trained on this stuff. This is just me. Love to talk, right? All right, so 6:57. I'm gonna get off here. If you guys don't have any more questions, we're gonna go. Erica, thank you once again. Feel free to disconnect. We appreciate you, love you, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? All right. I think so. She hopped off already. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. Do you have any questions? I have a few more minutes. Do you have any questions for me directly? If you do, I'll stay on for the next few minutes and make sure that, oh, Michelle Murray says, how am I doing? She missed my show. So tell me, is this a good time? 6 p.m. on Fridays. This is a time that I chose that I felt was best for me to come on here and just have a chat with you at the end of the week, have you unwind and just talk about any subject that you feel that we can discuss and let steam off or help to motivate us for the weekend. You know, that's what I wanted to do on Fridays. I had the show on Sundays, but it was too much going on. And Sunday's my day that I love to relax. That's my Sabbath, or the day that I choose, anyways. And family time is important. And usually we chill with the family in the evenings. And thanks, Tia. We just chill with the families in the evening. So I didn't want to take time away from the family on Sundays. And that doesn't mean I won't go on, I won't hop on an open slot just to discuss some things, because I have some couples in Hawaii that would love to join me on a chat. But Fridays at this time, they're like 6 hours behind us, so they're still at work. So I may have to hop on either late night just to accommodate them, or on a Sunday. So we'll see. I'll keep that in mind and be mindful of their time. But Zizi, thank you very much. You're super sweet. I appreciate you. And you enjoy the show with hubby. Bring him back. We'll bring him back. Just he's still active duty, still a soldier. So this time he's usually still at work sometimes on Friday evenings. So we'll see when I can bring him back again. And he will be retiring soon from the military. So I'll get to steal him now and then to come and chat with y'all, because I had so much fun with you guys, and I'm smiling because just having him next to me and just talking about us and the journey that we have been on for the past 24 years. All of my adult life I've been with this man, and we've been together, and it's been challenging, it's been fun, life learning, and uplifting. There's so many words that I can use to describe our relationship, but the most thing I can say, he allows me to be authentic, to be me. I don't have to tiptoe around him, and it just helps me to live my life stress free, or with less stress, because there's no stress-free life, but with less stress, knowing that he accepts me the way I am. He loves me, love my natural tone, and love my natural hair, and he loves me and that I embrace my roots. He loves the fact that I teach my daughter about Jamaica and about America. She learns that in school here as far as America, but we also teach her what is not learning in school, and so she needs to know history as well from here that's not being taught. And we teach her about Jamaica as well. The girl know the Jamaican anthem. We brought her to my school, and we had a ceremony, a presentation ceremony, because I have a scholarship program in Jamaica, and she sang the anthem, the words, everything, at 4 or 5 years old. So I had a poster. There are two posters on her in her room. One of them has the Jamaican anthem, and she already knew the US anthem. So it has the words of the Jamaican anthem, and it also has that phrase that says, "You come here, what you see, what you hear, what you learn, whatever. You don't leave with it, because if you leave, you don't come back here." Something like that, it says, paraphrasing. So yeah, man, she is well educated on our end. We do our part. My husband himself, he's taught her so much. I think my husband made sure that that's a topic that we talk about to our daughter and teach her, so she can know her roots and embrace that and know that she's not just one thing. Because a lot of the mistakes I've seen is, you are now living in America, why you keep talking about Jamaica so much? Because it's a big part of me. It's where I was raised until I was 15 years old. I was born there, raised there. Not just forget about it. No. it's not the thing to tell somebody. It was from a different country, right? And I am very patriotic when it comes to being an American, but I am patriotic as well as it comes to me being Jamaican because it's in me, and I just cannot give that up. I mean, I've raised my right hand to fight for this country, the United States of America, and I'll do it again, right, to make sure the safety of us and our neighbors around us. But I'm not gonna deny that I'm from Jamaica. We're in Florida. My flag there, not in here. Yeah, I was gonna pull it out, but yeah, to the core, man. Anyways, we went on with that. Zizi says, that's amazing. My son has only been to Jamaica twice. Our daughter is 11 and she's been to Jamaica probably 8 or 9 times. Yeah. Pam says she teaches her children our history, Jamaican history. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with learning the history of your ancestors, your forefathers. Nothing wrong with that. Let's give her heart's purpose. Oh, how sweet. Thank you so much, Tani. I appreciate you. So I'm gonna get off here. I thank you for joining. I thank Erica Virtue for joining us. That was an amazing conversation, great dialogue with her. And I love seeing her post. She speaks up for the people and voice that needs to be heard because she knows that where we come from in the countryside, we don't have a lot, we don't have big voices down there because we're underrepresented. And so it's great to have her and her brother and sisters. You see them nieces on Jamaican television out there and the newspaper. They're well known for the work that they do. And I'm just happy to have her as a voice, as an ally. And, people like her need to speak up for those who aren't able to speak up or are scared to speak up. We're all able, but some people don't have the courage to do so. And we can't knock them, right? But we can help them and give them a voice as well. Good evening, Georgia. Thank you for joining, and I'm about to leave. So one last thing is Pam McDonald says, if we don't know our history, we won't know where we're going. And she told her kids that we're Black every day. We don't need 1 month. That's true. And we are grateful that we do have a month to put extra celebration, but we should celebrate each other, celebrate ourselves every day. And my talk today was going to be about self-love, but Erica and I had such a great conversation about this classism and racism deal, which is very relevant for today. So I didn't get to go into loving yourself and being embracing who you are, your skin tone, your natural self, and whether it's your hair. Hello, my Instagram peeps. I keep forgetting that you guys are up here. Natural hair, naked skin with all the freckles and discoloration and all of that. Yeah, it's okay to be you naturally. I came on here earlier without any lipstick, and then I put on my lipstick just to pop my lips a little bit because when I like look pale, but my lipstick gives me some color, and I love that. But I thank you guys for joining. Please give me some more topics that I can talk about in the future, and you'll see me on here as often as possible every Friday on Jamaicans.com. 6 p.m. is the time. Unless you guys don't join me, then I'll switch to another time. But for now, we're going to keep it at 6 p.m. because it seems like you guys are engaging and able to join from across the world. We had the UK on here, Canada, and I don't remember some of the other countries because I wasn't able to look through all of them. But I'll comment and respond, and I will look to see who won the Happily Joint book that my husband and I wrote on. Oops, Instagram just fell down. Hello. So sorry about that, guys. This is the book that someone won last week, and I'll let you know. I'm gonna go in there and join me next week. If I don't message you, join me next week to tell me who it is. So I'll tell you who it is that won. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna go. Apparently, I'm getting some messages here, and we'll talk. All right. Remember to do all things with love, courage, grace, and gratitude. See you next week at 6 p.m. One love.